Hey, what's going on, crypto people? It is your boy, the Crypto Siege, with another day in the life, in the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning. It is raining. Raining is a little on the gray side, but nonetheless, it's not going to deter me from making this video and being absolutely 100%, 1000% just absolutely pumped. Checked out the Shane Ellis theory last night. Actually, I tried to check out the Shane Ellis theory last night. Let me correct that. But you ever get that look from your girl like, yeah, you better not be on YouTube right now. I just made dinner. Yeah, you wanna... You ever get that look? I got that look last night. So I had to really check it out, the vast majority of it this morning. But let me tell you what, Mickey B. Fresh and Brad Kimes really laid it out very, very nicely. And I'm so glad that they did take the time, because so many of us in the community really wanted to. I remember commenting on the chat about doing it, because I just thought the timing was really, really important to go through that now. And there was some other people in the community as well that knew, look, the timing is right. The timing is right. For me, everything, once MoneyGram went live, I knew it was time to go back and look at that Shane Ellis theory. I know you guys probably heard me on my channel talking about it as well, because it was real utility, real world use case. Okay, and it spoke to the heart of what Shane Ellis was thinking, because it's the first step in massive velocity of volume. And I think that is the difference. And for me, the Galvatron theory is completely debunked, right? And I think, in all fairness to Galvatron, he didn't know, when he didn't know what we all know today. In fact, Shane Ellis, there's Shane Ellis knows, and I'll talk about that some also later, but Galvatron did not know what we all know today. Slow and steady is not going to be the case, because this is not a stock, and this market is going to be, and it's an asset, and it's going to behave differently, unlike the traditional market. That is the bottom line. And so just understand this, that XRP, and I love the way it was put, it has the best of all three things. It has the best attributes of a commodity. It has the best attributes of utility. It has the best attributes of a currency. And that is the game changer. And I don't know why I think this, but I just truly believe that people like Shane Ellis, even perhaps people like Yo-Yo in the community, and even perhaps the variable, perhaps, I'm not certain yet, with all those puzzles and stuff that he likes to put out. But I just feel like somewhere along the line, and I don't know where it was, but some point in time, these people like Shane Ellis knew that they had to get this out to the world. They had to get it out to the retail investors, because they knew how massive of an opportunity it was going to be. And that is just my personal belief. For me, why else would Shane Ellis come out? Like, he doesn't have to prove himself right? He holds XRP, and he's been holding it for years and accumulating for years. He didn't have to come out. And I think the same thing with Yo-Yo. And I just think that, every now and then in your lifetime, you come across, good people who know that there's an opportunity to do something, that what they know and what they're able to share has an opportunity to do something massively for other people. And I just think that's what that Shane Ellis thing is all about, and I definitely appreciate it, because it really, for me, it added another layer of confidence when I first read that about XRP and the digital asset, that the greatest digital asset ever created, and the one that a lot of us hold. So yeah, so for me, that what they went over last night, or they did it last night, it completely debunks the Galvatron thing for me, without question. And I've been saying this for months. Why is it not behaving? Why is it not behaving? Why is it not changing? All of us are saying that. We hear this news, we hear this, that, we hear this, we hear this, that, and nothing. Because it is unlike any other asset that's ever been created. And once they realize what it could do, FX markets, derivatives, trade finance, once they realize bridge asset, once they realized what it could really, really do, they knew that they had to keep it at this price, work out these contracts, these agreements. I don't know. All these people want to make these arguments about, why is it being held down, or why is this what? The bottom line is a reason, and the other bottom line, no matter what you think, whether it's a bot or whether it's whoever controlling the price, the bottom line is that price needs to be high. That's the bottom line. That's the end game. It has to be high. And just Shane Ellis is just coming and explaining how it can get there and why it will be fast and why you don't have to wait for tens of billions of dollars to come into the market for that to happen. And so I love it, and it makes absolute sense to me without question, and it makes even more sense when I first read it, and it makes even more sense today. So just understand that, and I hope you guys had a chance to check out that video. If you didn't catch the live stream, definitely check out that replay with Brad Kimes and Mickey B. Fresh, because it was a great deep dive into the possibility of XRP. It really, really was. And whether it happens exactly like Shane Ellis says or not doesn't matter. The fact is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Whether it's a year from now, whether it's 6 months from now, it's going to happen. And I just thought it very, very interesting when Mickey B. Fresh pointed out, why haven't any more XRapid providers been announced? And why haven't more liquidity providers, exchanges or corridors being announced? And isn't it interesting that David Schwartz, and more than once now, has commented that he's working more with Xspring. And for me, that says because everything with XRapid and XRP is in place. It's in place. It's set up. It's just a matter of quote unquote synchronization. It's just a matter of flipping that switch. That's why David Schwartz is on to other things. Not that he's left the company or anything like that, but he's working more with Xspring, and I think there's a reason for that. And I think that they're set up. Everything is in place. It's just a matter of finalizing other contracts, if you will, getting those in place. And again, that the whole pre-allocation thing makes 100%, right? Because again, why would they sell 900 million XRP and then just convince people not to use it? There's got to be an end game, right? There's got to be a payout. There's got to be pay dirt, as Grant Cardone likes to say. And they've shared the vision. Ripple, the corporate Ripple, has shared the vision of what this thing is going to look like. And let us not forget that visit to the White House. Okay? Let us not forget that. An executive order. So what that means is that the White House knows what the asset XRP is about. They have a better understanding than what a lot of people think. And don't forget about Trump and I think his son-in-law and that whole thing with Kushner and all of that. So they are in the know. The White House and President Donald Trump are in the know when it comes to XRP. They don't need to fully understand. They need to know enough, and they know enough. There's a reason why the Executive Order 13772 was written, and it could have. Why didn't it mention R3? And the quarter. Why didn't it mention Hyperledger? I don't think it mentioned Hyperledger in there, but it did in fact mention Ripple. Here's the thing that I do know that it didn't mention. It didn't mention Cardano, and it didn't mention EOS or the people behind it. It didn't mention Ethereum or the people behind it. But it did, I believe. It did in fact mention Ripple, the company Ripple. And there's a reason for that. Right? There's a reason for that, because these guys, like, they forgot about the power of the internet. They forgot about the power of YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. They just thought they could put some things together and keep things behind the curtain. They don't understand it. They forgot about that, right? And they don't realize that, they didn't think, well, the XRP community was going to be massive in its ability to deep dive research and provide value to the community. Right? It's massive. It is 100% massive. And so, yeah, so now we know. And we know. And so, thank God for YouTube and Facebook and Twitch, right? Where content creators can get out there, provide information, provide value to keep us all in the know, right? To keep us all in the know. So it's incredible, what we've been able to do and what we've been able to find out. But that's Shane Ellis' theory. And the way they broke it down last night is exciting again, and it gets so exciting that it almost gets scary, like it really, really does. And I hope the headphones are working good for you guys. Hope it's not making that noise like it did once or twice before. But so yeah. So I'm absolutely excited about that. And when you hear the different ways that XRP can be used, when you think about trade finance and this whole Marco Polo thing, when you think about the derivatives and the FX market, and that XRP can be used in all of those different scenarios and will be used in all of different scenarios. When you hear, what's his name? Not Brian Garlinghouse. Gosh, I forget his name now. I can't. The founder of Ripple. Gosh, what is his name? Oh my God, I forgot his guy's name. But he just gets out he just does a Ripple drop. Chris Larson. The timing of that is, what is the word? It's not coincidental. It's just not. Right? Working as a complement or alongside. Look, those kind of words. That's not a mistake. That's not on accident. That's on purpose. That is intentional. It really, really is. Because I believe, every now and then you get blessed to come across, good people. Like Chris didn't have to get on there and do that Ripple drop. Brad Garlinghouse. It's just something about the fact that he's constantly being asked to be on mainstream media. Like he's not making phone. Brad Garlinghouse is not calling in and see if he can get in on an interview. They're reaching out to him, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that, and maybe it's because they're getting the world prepared. Every interview by interview, getting the world prepared for what is going to happen. For when that day comes, a Ripple XRP, that name will be used by someone. Muchin, President Donald Trump, somewhere is going to start getting used and spoken about. They've been holding it down for a long time now, and we all heard from our best perspectives in that Telegram group. Why? The why. That it was better to not disclose this asset that provides liquidity, right? And in the end, that is about so that we can all get prepared. Or not us, right? It wasn't for us. It was so that they could get prepared. Because once the word gets announced and mentioned, it's going to go bazonkers, right? Like it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. And, We can't say, the masses cannot say they were not given an opportunity to accumulate. Think about it. Think about how many times Julia, in that interview with Brad the other day, brought up, she said XRP over and over and over and over again. This is on CNN. I don't know if it's CNN Go or CNN International, whatever it was. And that there's going to be another interview. There's going to be another interview. And I bet you he's going to be, in the next 60 days, he'll be on mainstream media two or more times. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. And let's not forget that notion, that idea of, the U.S. dollar no longer being the world currency was not debated, was not called to the carpet by President Donald Trump, by Steve Mnuchin, by anyone in the White House. The U.S. dollar being replaced as the world currency, and no one made an argument from the White House. None. I don't even know if there's been an interview. It feels like no one's even asked President Trump about it. The guy likes to get in front of the camera. There hasn't been any kind of argument. Not even yeah, right. The U.S. dollar being replaced as the world currency. Yeah, nothing. And look, the Bank of England and Mark Carney have always been friends. So I feel like they talked and they discussed, and they said, look, this is what I'm doing, and this is how I feel, and this is where we're going to go. Look, it's all been planned out. It's all been planned out, in my opinion. So never ever forget that. So the St. Ellis theory is exciting. And, I know a lot of people, I don't know about the price and how quickly it can get to whatever. But for Shane to, it was just something about how matter of fact he was and what he said. And he knows, just like we know and just like they know, that 99%, let that thing get to $500. I mean, how many retail holders are going to be left? Come on. It's life-changing. And you can't blame them. Cannot blame them. It's $500 per. If someone has 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 at $500, you can't blame them. That's just the bottom line. And there are people that can afford to wait. And there are people who are in a position to change their lives and the lives of their families forever at $500 that are not going to wait. That's just the bottom line. And Shane Ellis said, that when the retail investor markets, XRP gets expended, in other words, they cash out, that's when you're really going to see the value. And the bottom line is that when he says $500 to $1,000 is nothing compared to the price of where it's going to be, and he says it as matter of fact as anyone I've ever heard, there's a reason for that. There truly is. And we got price points as well, and trust me, $500 is one of them. Trust me, it certainly is not going to be all, but it is going to be one for whatever it might be. Who knows? Okay, because and the way it's going to work is, the sooner there are more options available, the better it will be for the XRP community. And there is going to be a point in time where a percentage of that XRP is just not going to be cashed out. And I quite honestly believe that, they want a certain amount, kind of gone, so that these other people are going to snatch them up without question, because they know where this price is going to be. And that the institutions and places like that love 5x gains and 10x gains. So snatching something up for $500 is not going to be anything to them. I just want you to think about that. and providing liquidity and then snatching it back up, it's not going to be anything to them because they see where this thing is going to be. And, I think, a lot of people they thinking about the Bitcoin, they're thinking about this Bitcoin, and I think they're sleeping. They're on this giant that is XRP at 25 cents, and they're sleeping on it because they don't understand. That's why it's up to people, in the community, and we all have gone through it. I remember I was on a speakerphone with my buds, my dudes I used to work with when I had a job, and I was laying out the digital assets, and they didn't get it. And these are guys in the top 3% of income earners, right? Right? My ex-coworkers, top 3% of income earners. And they didn't get it. All they got is trading time for dollars, leveling up their TSPs. That's all they see. That's all they see. They're in their own world. And the reason why I know they're in their own world is because I'll ask them about people like Grant Cardone and what's the really, really charismatic guy? Gosh, how am I forgetting this dude's name right now? What is it? Jab, right hook? What is that dude's name? I can't remember this dude's name right now. I'm at a loss. I'm drawing a blank. But people like Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, wow, I cannot believe I'm forgetting this guy's name. He would be hurt right now that I forgot his name, and I can't remember his name right now. Daily V, Gary Vaynerchuk. I mentioned all three of these names to my dude, who is a smart guy, who is very, very good with his money, right? Very, very good with his money. He'll have hundreds upon hundreds of thousands in his TSP. He'll retire, and his home will be paid off, right? Because he made moves financially, did the 15-year, refinancing and all of that stuff, and blessed to be in a 3% income where he could make that note. He could go from a 30-year note to a 15-year note. Very, very smart guy. Okay, very smart guy. He will retire, unlike 95% of the people will retire. He'll have, a nice 401k. His home will be paid off. His cars, right? His Audi S5 will be paid off, right? All of this stuff, all these good, traditionally smart moves, financially, all of that. And I found it very, very interesting. Me personally, I found it very, very interesting. Never heard of Grant Cardone. Never heard of Ty Lopez. Never heard of Gary Vaynerchuk. You say, why? Why do you find that interesting? Because these are people that are going out and in their own unique way. We're talking people worth hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I know Grant Cardone and Gary Vaynerchuk are for certain. Providing value to help you level up your life in whatever area you want to do it, and never heard of him. Just like he never heard of either one of them. But guess who he does know? He knows the people on Monday Night Football. Think about that. He knows about the people on Monday Night Football. He never heard of those. So that's why I think when people like Shane Ellis or people like Yo-Yo, they get onto mainstream media and they provide something to wake people up to the possibility of generational wealth. That's what it is. It's the possibility of generational wealth. And I love my dude, love him. But he will not have generational wealth. He will not have generational wealth. He'll have a few $100,000. He'll have a home that's paid for. He'll have cars and nice cars that are paid for, but he won't have generational wealth. And that opportunity to have generational wealth is out there, even outside of the digital asset space. It's a chance for generational wealth. You know, Grant Cardone is generational wealth he's accumulated. So the opportunities are there, and I just think, again, for me, I believe 100% that you know, that they know, you know, they're on the inside somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, and whether it be Chris Larson, who has, you know, has always gone out and shared XRP and Ripple and what they're doing. I just think that every once in a while you come across good people that want to share. I think Grant Cardone, you know, is a smart guy. I think that he's a good guy. You know, whether he's a sales guy or not, I think he's a good guy. And the bottom line is he has accumulated a certain amount of wealth, generational wealth, and he's sharing it. I can't say that he's sharing his knowledge. Okay, he's sharing his knowledge, and he's giving back to different things, right, as well. But I can't say that other people are. What is that about? I don't know what that's about. Kids running in the rain. But he's sharing it. That's a tough day to be having your run. But he's sharing it. And I can't say that all people that have generational wealth are. Like, I don't know. Is Jay-Z sharing? Is Jay-Z out there providing content and value to people every single day? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I don't think he is. You know, he might have they might have some foundations and stuff. But what I'm saying is that information is out there. There are good people that are willing to share. You know, a lot of wealthy people, lots of wealthy people are not willing to share how they got their wealth. They're just not. They think if I share, then I get. If I give, I lose. It's bottom line. There are always going to be givers and takers. And my whole point to that is I just think that Shane Ellis is just one of those guys. Again, he didn't have to get up there on Twitter and do all of that. Right? He could have just remained quiet, and his confidence in what he knows, it just continued to accumulate. Every now and then you're going to come across those, and that's what I think is going on. And that's why I love the XRP community, because there are people that are willing to share what they know. Right? We call them little 1%ers, right? Just, you know, moving the needle 1%, right? You know, getting, you know, one person a week into the XRP community, if you will, if you know what I'm saying. Getting one more XRP accumulator and hodler, right? You know, that's why the Brad Kimes, that's why the crypto siege, right? That's why the digital asset investor, that's why the modern investor, right? And others, and others who are giving and giving, have been giving, you know, mistakes or not, have been given and given and given, right? And so that's why I love where we are, and love the fact that people take the chance and take the time and willing to create a channel and give, whether it be Kevin Cage or you know, others, right, that are out there, XRP YouTubers that are doing it. Because, you know, every now and then you come across good people that are willing to give and share value, and I love that you know, that we do that. So that's what I think that Shane Ellis thing is all about, and it absolutely makes 100%. And I just believe 1,000% that it completely debunks the Galgatron thing. And again, I believe Galgatron's a good dude, but I think he's, in my opinion, he's an older guy that comes from the traditional market space, and those are the glasses that he wears. So he can't see it any other way. Can't see it another way because he's got these glasses on, and this is what it looks like to him. You know, but thank God for him, right? We need the Galgatron, we need the holders of the world, because perspectives are perspectives, and the more perspectives you have, the better you are, right? The more that you learn and you know, by the way, you increase the neuronal networks, you create another new neuronal network in your brain, and it's healthier and it's better for you. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to wrap this up real quick. I just want to tell you guys, never ever forget that old money doesn't want you to win. They don't want us to win. They would rather us remain a cog in their perpetual wheel of trading our time for dollars. right? They don't want us to play in the same playground that they play in, where we allow our money to work for us. This is our chance to win, guys. The digital asset space is our chance to win. We are in the midst of the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of man. Are you participating? Or are you standing on the sidelines? Here's what I do know, that the battle for you has already been fought, and the victory is yours. Go get it. I'll talk to you soon, guys. See ya.